I reckon this is gonna go down as the saddest day in Canadian history. Huh? My wife thinks I'm talking to her. I think I gotta move. I gotta go. Well, I'll go upstairs. Head up the stairs here. Maybe I can find someplace I can talk without bugging people too much. Okay, this is good. I don't know what day today is. It'll show up. This is the lowest point in Canadian history. Canadian politics has definitely never sunk anywhere near this. I don't think that the current situation, even if the people weren't so like loving and kind and welcoming and warm, that's all. Protesters are pretty much like that, right? But whatever, that those congregations, whatever that bunch of things is, the blocking the border and occupying Ottawa. So the basic thing is that the blockades were stupid, and the one at the Parliament was genius, absolute genius. And the luster seems to have gone off our sheen a bit. I mean, a couple of days ago, Canadian truckers were the heroes of the whole world. Really, everywhere. Somebody has to do a documentary on this, just to get it straight, like what actually happened. And then that dictator, Justin, came in, and he's called in the Emergency Act. I think that's what it is, and it didn't qualify. It shouldn't have been one of those, even if they were, rough. Most of them were really nice people. It's absolute for sure. And he didn't put it through full parliamentary debate, so he brought in the measures essentially at the same time that he brought it up, that it was brought up in Parliament. So he was supposed to be there talking about whether or not it was justified. And instead, of course he didn't justify it. He couldn't have justified it. Not with any lawyer could have gone through that. I bet you it's just absolutely without a doubt. So these are the most extreme measures that a country can take out against itself. Like normally you use it during wartime or something like that, when you really do have to be able to tell people what to do. So there was no debate about it. There's another one coming up next week. No debate about whether or not to bring in the most dictatorial legal framework that there is. They're seizing a lot of people's money. And the police are saying in Ottawa that, look, you guys, we know who you are. We've got you on tape. And we're going to make sure that you face criminal charges and are fined and spend years in jail. So they're going to be vindictive about it as well. That is really not cool. That is so not cool. Wow. I wonder how many Canadians actually know what's going on, because if they're just going through their day, going shopping and all that, they wouldn't really have a very good understanding of what's happening. This is, you keep thinking he's going to go lower. Like, he's so far down the drain now, man. There's not a speck of hope for him. He is a total fucking dictator. He's trying to be one. Everything he does is more dictatorial than the last thing he did. You could put it that way. You're going to bring in the Emergency Powers Act without any sort of debate in Parliament, and you're going to have a group as friendly and positive spirited as that one, and you wouldn't even talk to them. You wouldn't talk to them. That's your job, was to bring that thing down, bring the temperature down on that. And you brought it up. Wow, you called people swastika waving. Associated all of us with Nazis from the beginning. Actually said misogynists and probably sexists and racists, and all that vocabulary was mixed in there the whole time. And the reason it happens is because they're all white. I don't know whether I'm proud of this. I'm proud that it was white men who did this, and it was mostly white men, not completely. But if any other group's got a right to say that they're proud of their ethnicity, I do right now. Because I grew up around people like those truckers. And, yeah. So what was the most dictator-like thing that he did before that? Was it spending all our money on, giving out money to really rich corporations and leaving us all with the debt? That's totalitarian, but it's feeding into the upper class. Everything you do benefits the upper classes. All the money goes to real estate developers and pharmaceutical companies, big tech. That is phenomenally, I mean, what we're talking about right now, like what the mounted police in there rounding up those guys, I'd kind of say, well, you haven't been there 3 weeks. I mean, but I know what they should have done there too. What they should have done is said, okay, we're going to have a small encampment here, and we're going to have it. And if you don't let us have it, then we're going to just swamp this place. Everyone in Canada should have been there. That's what should have happened. Should have kept it completely peaceful. Eventually they'd just run out of places to put us. But they got all this digital tracking and all that, so even if you do get away from that, they're going to hound you down for the next little while. So absolutely disgusting. Canada can't. This is, I think, about as low as you can